You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. It's about time. I've literally been sitting here for the last 5 minutes trying to push the start stream button that's been grayed out.
Even though all the stats say that we should have been able to stream, it's like we're receiving you loud and clear, everything's good, just push the button, but there's no button.
Yeah. Well, the button was there. It's just it was grayed out.
Well,
it was like it was like that. It's like that commercial with the guy with the fishing line with the dollar. It's like, oh, almost got it.
I just
Why
don't
am I
want
hearing music playing?
I don't want to trigger anything. What? There's no music playing.
You're playing music.
I am not. Wait, maybe I'm playing music. Hold on. Am I playing music?
Jerry, you're gonna get me flagged. Blah 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 blah.
There is no music playing right now on my system. You need to check yours.
I'm looking going.
I'm looking at my mixer board right now. There is no audio other than what is coming out of my mouth.
Whatever you just did, it stopped.
I didn't do anything.
What is happening?
What was that? Was it like coming through a microphone, or was it like clear audio?
It was like clear audio. Like it was like your mic was set to what you hear or something.
My computer is possessed. Oh my god! I plugged in the Samsung Note and it like grenaded my computer.
I'm all blah 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 blah, but I try not to get freaking flagged. They're playing like music, like straight up music.
As long as it wasn't Metallica or anything doing Nintendo, we're probably all right.
I can't even tell you what it was. I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening here. Hey guys, what's up? Tech Talk. We're live. Can you tell? I'm just gonna run the intro. Hold on.
What's that?
Wrong button. I just pushed the wrong button. Damn it. There we go. There we go.
And stop the stream. Oh, there we
No.
go. Is the intro running right now?
It's already almost over.
This is a professional intro. Okay, that's all.
Seasonal depression is in full effect right now.
Welcome to Tech Talk 136. This is the Christmas episode before the other Christmas episode before we just stop giving a shit.
But not the same Christmas episode as last week's Christmas episode, and not as Christmassy as next week's Christmas episode.
That is accurate. By the way, nice ad. I watched.
The only thing that can make this better is if all of a sudden I start doing a hoedown over here.
Do the hoedown.
I'm already doing it.
See, I can't even see. I'm blind, guys. I'm blind because this man will not hook up a secondary camera.
You'll see it on the replay. That's the only thing that could have made this even more like. If you watch a replay, you'll see a hoedown.
So Jay, with all of his YouTube millions, he can't just buy a second webcam to hook up so I can see his facial expression.
Sure, I can. I've got one in the closet. It's just the closet's all the way over there. Watch the stream. I'm doing a hoedown. Watch the stream. There it is. There it is. I'm doing a hoedown.
There it is. There's the hoedown. Fine, I'm gonna get us flagged. Flagged.
No
we just got flagged. There you go. Hashtag free the nipple.
So, if you guys, we'll talk about AMD and Ryzen or Risen or Ruzen or Who's It or What's It later, even though it's first on the titles. If you guys own a Galaxy Note 7, you're about to own a paperweight.
Ooh,
Samsung's pissed. They are pissed that you didn't turn it in like you were supposed to.
Yeah, they're you know what? Samsung is starting to do a lot of unprecedented things through this. They've had the most unprecedented recall in history. We're talking 8 billion was the last time I looked at it. It might be more than that now. 8 billion in loss on a recall. Like there's probably 5 companies in the world that could handle that kind of recall and survive. Samsung's luckily one of them. The second thing is they basically crippled the phone down to a 60% charge for the people
I feel like the only industry that can get away with recalls that are this big is the automotive industry.
Yes, well, the automotive industry can do it because the government always bails them out for some reason that's beyond my comprehension. Like they can literally go into the black, like $12 billion, and the government's like, I think we should probably keep Ford around.
Do you think YouTube will adopt the "you're too big to fail" mentality?
I hope so. I really, really hope so. Because that's about all I got going for me these days, Jay.
You have to wonder if YouTube themselves was sweating bullets when Felix was like, I'm going to delete my channel at 50 million. Because how many hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue would they lose off of him?
Let's see. Not this year, but the year previous. So 2014, he made $24 million in just ad revenue. That's just ad revenue. And YouTube takes 50% of that. And that's not including any of the brand deals they did with him. That's not any of the stuff that they used him to promote the platform. That's just raw AdSense money.
Yeah. So he could have taken $12 million out of their own pocket by saying, I'm done.
No, 24 million, because that's what he made after.
You're right. Yeah.
So that's it takes. Yeah, I know, right? It takes a lot of freaking YouTubers like Jay and I to make up that. See, I got to keep comparing myself to Jay because pretty soon I'm not going to be able to anymore. This son of a bitch is just running away with the internet. What is wrong?
I will remember everyone I trample on my way to the top. Okay.
I know that the student has become the teacher.
That's what makes a true leader. is remembering who lifts him up to lead.
All right.
Does that make sense? Doesn't even make sense? I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure Jay's going to just stop answering. Once we get what does the gap have to be before you just stop answering my calls? Is it like 200,000 subs?
Oh God, no, like 50. We're almost there.
You forced my hand. You forced me to give something away, and you know I hate doing that.
You had promised about giving that away forever ago. You just
I was supposed to, and that's actually on me. I was supposed to give that away a long time ago. And then after this giveaway, I'm doing another giveaway that's my Ultimaker 2 Extended, because I've come to the realization that I don't need 5,000 Ultimakers, so I'm going to give one
yes,
away.
You need an army of Ultimakers.
I could make just prosthetic limbs all day long, or dildos, whatever. I mean, people have different tastes.
Plugs.
Butt plugs. Hey, we did. Hey, true story. Hey, true or false? I did print you specifically a butt plug in the man cave when you were up here.
In a black flexible material, rubber material. True story.
I think the cat ate it or something though, because it was like
then it really became a butt plug from the inside.
Yeah, that's probably why my cats are in heat right now. They found
okay. So I interrupted you about 6 minutes ago about the recall.
Oh yeah, okay. So anyways, the recall with the Samsung Note 7, first stage, return it, and they paid for people to return it. They literally sent you like a kit to ship it through the mail without blowing up mail trucks. And then if you refuse to return it, then they sweetened the pot and they said, listen, if you send it back to us, we'll give you a full refund plus $100. They're like, we'll throw $100 on top of what you paid for it just for your trouble. Mm-hmm. Then a bunch of people returned it. But apparently there was still a ton of them in the wild. And Samsung's like, why are people not returning these? Well, I'm not returning mine because it's a rare device now. I mean, everybody returned it. You just made mine like rare. So Samsung's like, oh, how do we deal with little shits like barnacles? Well, they came up with a stellar plan, and that is to force a firmware down onto the phone that cannot be denied. As long as the only way I can stop it from getting the firmware is to completely disconnect it from any internet forever, which is, basically what it's already kind of doing. But the second I connect it to the internet, it's going to get a forced firmware update as of the 17th, I believe, of this month. So I got like two more days? Yeah, 2 more days. They're going to disable the battery charging feature on the phone. They are going to internally tell the phone not to charge the battery at all. So when the last electron drains out of that LiPo pack, it's done. The phone is inert at that point. What kind of bullshit is that, Jay?
I think it's perfectly acceptable.
I don't. This is one of those things, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, and I'll cite some precedent for it too. So this phone right here has a LiPo battery pack in it that can explode. It's not guaranteed to explode. They said
you've just nullified any argument you have done.
How?
You just said it could explode.
Well, everything can explode. Your car could explode. It's got gas.
Yeah. But my car has less of a track record of exploding than that phone does.
Well, most things do, honestly. But
I mean, there's sort of a proven track record there that yes, although anything with a LiPo battery has the likelihood to explode, although slim, yours has a kind of a bit of an exponential factor there.
Okay, I'm going to let you have that one, Jay, but let me pick something else other than your car, because your car will inevitably explode and prove me right. Anyways.
It will. It's a Nissan.
LiPo battery packs are inherently dangerous. They're a little more dangerous in this phone because of the flaw in the battery pack that allows it to internally short if the phone gets like bent or overdriven or overheats. There's a bunch of situations that can cause it. But to let you guys know, it doesn't affect every phone. The reason I know this is because I've been running this phone for 3 months at 100% on the GPU and 100% of the CPU doing folding at home, which is the hardest thing you can do. The phone was so hot, you almost couldn't touch it. Sitting on a charger on top of a metal plate in my garage because I literally was trying to get the phone to explode, and it didn't. So I actually have faith that this phone will never explode.
Can I request a new test?
Yes, you absolutely can, because I do want to see this thing go up in flames before they completely kill the battery.
Can you do that again with an aftermarket charger?
I'm already using an aftermarket charger.
No, not that. Okay, Rav Power is actually decent. I mean, go to Amazon, buy like freaking, bought like a $4 USB charger.
Oh, get like a really shitty
one that maybe slightly overcharged the battery that could cause a slight swelling, which would then make those solder points become an issue.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. Well, since
I have a feeling that a lot of the phones that ended up having failure or fault were at some point being charged with cheap ass chargers.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because people are just going to go on Amazon, do a search for charger, and the first thing is going to pop up is, $1.99 Shenzhen charger, guaranteed charge 1 hour, $1.
Yeah, seriously. I have a feeling that that's a factor.
That's a good idea, actually. I might do that because I do actually have some really, really cheap USB bricks around here that I could plug a cable into, like ones that have actually made the cable noticeably warm, charging other devices. So yeah, no, I might actually give that a go in the next 2 days because I do want this to explode. And if they do nerf the battery pack, I'm going to take it outside and put a nail through it and force the battery to go thermal nuclear. So expect that video if they do cripple the phone. But it's so sad because, guys, there is not another phone like this on Earth. The specs on it are phenomenal. The fact that it has a pen in the bottom of it with a button.
Wow.
And no, it's a beautiful, beautiful phone. I mean, just everything about this made me want to throw my iPhone in the garbage. And you guys know that I've picked iPhone over several Android devices, the OnePlus One, the OnePlus 3, the LG G4. I've tried all kinds of stuff, and I always go back to iOS. This was the one phone where I was like, you know what? Screw iPhone. I finally found the phone I want, and Samsung wants me to throw it in the garbage.
I just want to go ahead and say hi back to James from Singularity. He's watching Singularity PC in the house.
Hey, what's up, dude? Howdy.
Yeah, Singularity PC. It's funny, whenever people talk about my builds, everyone's always like, no. You got to watch Singularity PC's builds. They're the most phenomenal. And you know what? I will 100% completely agree with that statement. The builds have a level of detail there that even I cannot, even in my biggest OCD fueled build modes, I cannot come close to the level of detail that takes place with their
Singularity
builds.
PC. I'm trying to look this up so I can see what it is.
Mm-hmm. They're all client builds, so it's a business.
Okay, so they're literally just doing custom stuff.
Exactly, and based in Australia, which is kind of interesting because you know how expensive it is to try and import anything to Australia for PC.
Yes.
Having a dedicated builder like that in Australia that can service New Zealand and Queensland and Australia and all that is, I think, it's a really good thing as long as they can get the parts and they're cheap enough. But
God,
yeah,
I hope
level of
friends
detail,
in the UK or something that are just drop shipping them stuff from the US.
I know, right?
Dude, I had a guy message me once. He sent me a picture. I think you actually saw it also. It was the Titan X in Australia money, and it was like 2,000 or something. But then you went and converted it to US dollars, and it was $2,500 US.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so you're gonna pay double the price for it, and it's a graphics card. That shouldn't cost an absorbent amount of money to ship. It really shouldn't. I should have excluded Australia from the giveaway. I'm scared now. $74,000 shipping. What are you doing?
Multitasking.
I get worried when Jay is silent because I don't have a camera seeing what he's doing.
No, I'm just multitasking. I'm responding to some of the guys on the Terry Crews PC team right now. Let me.
All right, I'll entertain the troops. So, guys, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. What do you guys think about the recall in the chat? Let me know. I want to see what you guys think about it. Be serious for just a second of your life. Do you think that they are within their right as a company to basically disable and cripple every single device that's out in the public? So this is like the equivalent of you buying a car from Ford and they do a recall on it after you make it your track car or whatever, and you fix all the problems with it. And shouldn't you be allowed to keep that car at that point? I mean, you paid for it, you acknowledge the risk.
Well, yeah, so that's my question. I don't have one of these devices. I never got a recall notice or anything, so I have no idea what it's based on. But what is their method of making it right? Are they giving you a refund? Are they going to give you a different device? What are they doing?
They said that they will trade you up to another device or give you a 100% refund, and they even tacked another $100 onto it. So they're going to give you a 100% refund plus $100 if you'll take it.
Okay, and then I don't have any problem with that.
But what if you're one of the people that obtained a Samsung phone from like eBay or something, and you don't have like a receipt, you don't have the store? I mean,
well, you can't double dip the phone. If you send the phone back, then that's it. So whoever I guess sends in the phone gets the credit, right? I mean, they have to know that there's a third market. There's a third party market out there.
I don't care. I'm not returning mine. I'm going to destroy. I'd rather destroy it in a video than return it at this point.
Yeah, and you kind of removed yourself from being a regular Joe in all of that once you do that, because you have the ability to do that. But most of these people watching this here have one phone, you know?
No, that's true. That's true. That's something that I would be able to do. And just full disclosure, I did not pay for this phone, so I'm not out any money for this. Also, Samsung didn't send me the phone, so they're not like sitting there going, oh my God, we're going to be mad if you put a nail through it. Somebody literally just gave me this phone because they're like, well, we can't use it anymore because of the recall, and they didn't want to deal with any of the crap, so they just gave it to me because they wanted to see what I'd do with it. And I had a lot of cool plans for it, but it didn't blow up when I tried to make it blow up. And I tried, guys. I plugged it in directly to USB. I plugged it into a Qi charger. I didn't try like a really crappy, like, overamped USB source, like a crappy hub or something like that. That's a good idea, though. And over months of running at 100%, it hasn't had any problems. Now, they did release the firmware update that dropped the battery pack down to a 60% charge. And that already crippled the phone immensely. But the fact that now they're releasing another firmware update to drop it down to 0% charge and completely disable the device tells me that they know something that we don't, that they're not sharing publicly. And that probably is that 100% of these phones are capable of exploding under certain circumstances.
Yeah. Well, I still think the aftermarket chargers are playing a part in this.
Yeah, but why not just put a firmware on there that says, oh, if the incoming current isn't this or it isn't an official charger, then deny it. I mean, tons of phones do that.
Okay, what phones do that? Even Apple with the shittiest chargers, half the time it'll just say this device isn't like supported, but you can still, like, a lot of them will still charge.
I thought it was at a diminished capacity though. It won't charge at the full 5 amps. It drops it down internally because the phone itself can throttle the incoming bandwidth. I mean, it has resistors.
I don't know because I don't use aftermarket chargers.
That's a good point. I'm curious if any of you guys out there legitimately know, not speculating, that the Android phones like Samsung and stuff are capable of denying an overcharge coming in or an overage of current coming in. Let us know, because it seems to me like if they can release a firmware update that prevents voltage from getting to the battery pack, the electronics are in there sufficient enough to throttle that somehow if you were on a charger that was putting out too many amps. Unless the circuit itself is what catches on fire and blows the battery pack. I mean, in that case, you're kind of screwed, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit sad because the phone is amazing. It's quite frankly one of the coolest cell phones. If you've ever held one in your hand, it's like glass around the back, glass around the front. It feels absolutely solid. It doesn't feel like it's susceptible to bend gate crap. It's a beautiful phone. It has a beautiful camera on it too. So I'm sad because what I wanted to use it for was I have my DJI Osmo Mobile, and I was going to use it. This has the superior camera for shooting 4K, and the screen on it's also 4K. So like you can use it for VR, like the VR headsets and stuff you have. There's a lot of things I still could have used this for if it couldn't be a phone. And now Samsung's going to take that all away from me and just make it a brick. So maybe there's a way to hack it. I'll do some research. If there's a way that I can force a vanilla Android build on it or an aftermarket firmware that basically just, because at that point, Samsung's not to blame in any capacity, right? At that point, the second that I modify the firmware, modify the device, Samsung has zero liability. So hopefully they won't send the black helicopters after me.
No, yeah, they're you should probably sell it on Let It Go.
Sell it on Let It Go. After it's already
commercials.
Be like, it's a little warm. It gets a little warm in the corner. I recommend you unplug it. No more after 6 hours. And plus, hold on. I can prove to you, Jay, that I am a responsible Samsung owner, because everybody's like, you're dumb. You're going to burn your house down. You're going to kill your kid, and all just to prove a point. No, guys, this is a steel ammo can. Okay?
Oh, I don't know, man. We've all seen what happens to steel during the 9/11 stuff, so I have a feeling it's going to turn that into liquid.
That's true, and it probably melt through my floor. My whole building's gonna collapse in.
It's gonna turn into like Tannerite.
No, I'm not even kidding. If you guys are wondering why I have an ammo box in my room, it's not because I'm a gun nut. I mean that too.
Yes, it is.
The reason I have an ammo box in my room is because I bought these really cheap.
You're part of the Seattle's 42nd militia. Don't lie.
I am. Come try to take it from my cold dead hands. Anyways, this right here is the cheapest. Oh shit! Look how cheap that is. It's just like. Okay, hold on. I think I fixed it. I think I can fix it.
The charger. I mean, which charger is that?
Okay. Don't ever buy this.
Jeez.
These are dual battery chargers from cost like $7 or $8. I figured, they were so cheap. I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll try them. And they have adapter plates on them, but they weigh nothing. Like you can tell the inside of this is like the wall is literally just going right to the battery. There's little, if any, circuit inside of this thing. And it does an okay job charging the battery packs. Although I did notice that it only charges them to about 80% of the original charger. But this thing right here gets so hot you can't even touch it. The first time I tried to pick it up off my desk, it was so hot because I kind of smelled like burning plastic. other one did it too. So I stuck them in the ammo can just to hedge my bets and be safe until I can get some better chargers.
So if you open that up, it's probably like purely hollow with like a teeny tiny little circuit board in there.
Well, I guarantee you, I might actually bust one of them open just to see, because just like EEV Vlog does, Davey. Because I guarantee you open this up, it's going to literally be wires coming from the wall, 2 little twisty caps, and smaller wires going into the terminal of the battery.
I see Hobbs is telling me there was a comment from James Passmore saying that they would love to send me a PC from Singularity. I have literally no need for another PC, but if you have a customer in the United States who's a client of yours who's okay with the PC making a stop over here to be like looked at close up and like shown off on the channel, and then you pay the freight to send it off to wherever it needs to go from here, I'm okay with that. So I think you've got my email. If not, hit me up on Twitter and we can DM and talk from there. But yeah, in terms of like obviously keeping a PC, that's unnecessary, but I would like to take a look at one up close.
Yeah, that. And don't send me one. I don't want your PC, okay? I don't need your charity.
Yes, you do.
Actually, the truth is, I don't have any kind of official deal with Puget Systems, but I just they've been so good to me, and the channel and everything they've built for me has been so good. I like to stay loyal to them, at least on the desktop builds and stuff like that. But I am going to build my own computer here pretty soon, because I'm sick of everybody else having all the fun building their little custom computers that don't work half the time and having to fuck with things all the time. I want to do that. I want to be in on that.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. It's not a fat joke. It's not a fat joke, I promise.
We got to say it. We got to say AMD has risen. That's why I think they called it. That's why I think it's risen. I don't think it's Ryzen.
No, I think it's Ryzen, because they're actually saying it's like Ryzen to the community. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke I heard earlier today.
It's either poison or them making fun of all their failed previous attempts. But Jay, I watched your video on it. Oh, can you comment on that TDP thing in the chart? Was I smoking crack on that?
Okay, no. So that chart isn't by me. That was PCWorld.com put that up. They had amended it because when they first put up their article and put up that chart, the TDP hadn't been confirmed yet by AMD, but then there was an amendment. So the TDP is 95 watts of TDP. Now the actual power consumption, a lot of people confuse TDP with power consumption. It's not the same thing. TDP is almost going to be like a heat measurement, where power consumption is something entirely different. So
I didn't know that. That's interesting. So I'm going to guess a lot of people probably didn't realize that.
So the AMD in terms of wattage is like, I think the actual wattage used during those demos was like 5 watts less than the Intel. But that's still a big deal though, because when it comes to the amount of wattage consumption, Intel had always been extremely more efficient than AMD. Like AMD was way high on the TDP and all the way up to like 220 watts pulled from the socket if you had like any sort of overclock or boost clock going on there. So this is a big deal. But it's also important to say that this is 100% a new chip. This is not a rebrand. This is not a redesign of an existing product. This is 100% new. I'm still interested to see what the AM4 socket is going to look like. I'm still curious if they're sticking to the entire pin on the CPU versus pin on the motherboard design. I don't have my hands on any of that stuff yet. I may or may not have my hands on some of the Intel stuff, but I can't go into any more detail than that. But I will be doing full review / build / overclocking and everything on the AMD stuff.
Wait, so nobody's had eyes on the physical hardware yet? They've only seen the tests and things like that?
Yeah, dude, this is still early stuff. I mean, it was pushed back even. We were expecting to see full AMD Zen to market by now, but it's now been pushed back, at some point in Q1 2017.
That's really concerning, though, that they haven't shown the physical hardware yet, because usually with Intel, the only time that they don't show the physical hardware is if
we're
they're
talking
still
about AMD.
No. I'm comparing.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying Intel in the past would not show the physical hardware if they thought there was a chance that they would have to change something last minute. So it seems like they're way past that. Like with the whole Ryzen thing, it seems like they're already to the point where they're like, here's how fast it is. Here's our hardcore evidence. Like, it's done. Like,
okay, so cell processing just said the AM4 is still a ZIF socket, which means that the pins are going to be on the CPU.
Okay.
I'm okay with that still, because AMD chips are a bit more delicate than the Intel counterparts, simply because you don't have pins to bend on the chips on the Intel side. But the pins are way beefier than the ones found inside the motherboard on an Intel motherboard. So I'm okay with them maintaining that design. I really am. There's also a new mounting mechanism that's going to be going on to the AM4 motherboards. So if you have an existing AM3 Plus or AM3 and you're wanting to upgrade to AM4, you're going to have to buy a new cooler. Now, my question is, how long is it going to be now before we start seeing aftermarket coolers that are going to be adopted with the new AMD socket? Because it's not going to be using the same type of mounting mechanism. That means none of the stuff that's on the market today, water blocks or air coolers, are going to be compatible with the new stuff. So I'm hoping that motherboard manufacturers are going to be able to give early access to a lot of the companies that make cooler designs, even with dummy mock-ups, so that they can at least make brackets for them, and even maybe come up with some sort of a bracket option. So if you have an existing cooler, that you can buy just the bracket to make your existing cooler work on the new board. So that's another question I have that I didn't even get a chance to talk about in that video because it was already running long, is cooling options, because honestly, it's brand new.
I would be shocked personally if the big guys in the cooling industry don't already have their hands on the specs under NDA for that mounting.
Right.
Because it doesn't make sense. I mean, that would be a huge faux pas on AMD's part if they released the processor and they didn't already have aftermarket support for coolers and stuff like that. Because I mean, the big thrill is going to be, how does this thing compare to Intel in the overclocking realm?
Mad Matt 2001 says they said AM3 coolers will work on AM4. I have heard conflicting information to that statement. So until we actually see it up close, we're just going to have to completely reserve any comments regarding what coolers will and won't work, because we need confirmation on that. And until this stuff comes to market, there is no like definitive confirmation yet.
I'm hopefully optimistic. Same time, after seeing all the stuff that went down on the GPU side where they just overhyped the hell out of everything, and the fact that Zen or Ryzen has taken too long to come out is concerning me. I mean, you got to be feeling the same way too, that what comes out probably is going to fall short of what they're showing.
More people saying AM3 stuff does work on AM4. Again, I want to see confirmation on that.
See.
Like, I want to see them up close.
Once we have confirmation on that it'd be nice if it did, because that means that the processor would come out day one with support for a lot of stuff that's out there. But also that would suck for that would actually in a way suck for the cooling companies, because you're gonna have a lot of people upgrading and using the same hardware, and they're not gonna be forced to buy a new cooler. and honestly, companies love that kind of crap, right? I mean, when a CPU form factor changes, every single person that buys it has to buy a new cooler. They can't just transplant it from their old
Intel has been basically used since socket LGA 775. The only thing that's really changed between that whole square, right, because they have a square pattern, is the spacing on the square. And then now all the coolers basically just have tabs that slide along a rail so that it will always fit. AMD's always just had the same type of a locking spring / tab that hooks on two brackets on either side. And then the companies that make the really good coolers for them just remove those altogether, and then you've got more of a rectangular mount. I don't see that as being too big of an issue, though, regarding coolers on that. It's something that I had read that AM4 was going to use a different mounting mechanism. So
what's up with this scary smart learning capability that just sounds like they're hyping the hell out of a generic version of hyper-threading? But like, I read a little bit on it, and I still don't really understand how it works. Did you get any more information?
Are you talking about their new approach to how single-threaded and hyper-threaded performance is going to be dynamic?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be dynamic based on it observing what you're doing and intelligently making decisions, which I didn't quite understand from a CPU perspective, other than maybe like a faster cache.
You have to remember, a lot of this information still is very high level, because they, for whatever reason, are trying not to tip their hand to Intel. I think Intel's on its own track and is doing its own thing and doesn't really care what AMD is doing for the meantime. So I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about tipping the scales there on tipping their hand, I should say. Okay. Part of the problem with Bulldozer and Pile Driver and Excavator was that they had put a lot of their instructions and the way that the CPU works heavily on multi-threaded applications. But as you know, as a software developer, it took a long time for single-threaded optimization to not be the focus. if that makes sense, right? So hyper-threading and multi-threaded applications, it took a long time to be adopted on the software level. So Bulldozer and Piledriver, and I want you to step in if I'm wrong here,
Okay.
from the developer standpoint. Bulldozer and Forward, not having very good single-threaded optimization is what really hurt it in the long run, because a lot of programs still relied heavily on single-thread optimization. So,
Yes.
so that's what hurt them in the long run. They kind of, it's funny to say, it was almost a little bit ahead of its time.
No,
But
it
what's
absolutely was. And I remember I worked at Microsoft during the time that Bulldozer came out. And I remember I was like, holy crap, 8 cores, when like Intel's closest offering in the same bracket was like 4. And it was a monster. The thing was a monster truck. But yeah, the cores were slow individually, and they didn't work well in single-threaded programming, which the operating system even at that point had a lot of single-threaded ties.
What had happened too is, as we progressed from 2009, 2010, right,
Yeah.
the Phenom 965 series and forward to Bulldozer being the 8-thread, the single core performance ended up falling behind, and multi-threaded performance was the way the instruction sets were working was no longer optimized either, because the CPU was so old. So what happened is now they've come up with this smart switching mechanism in there where it can actually optimize itself based on the type of load that it's seeing and the type of threaded optimization it's being requested. So now it's able to have great single-threaded performance and great multi-threaded performance simultaneously. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But on different benchmarks that they were showing, which is kind of a mix of different types of instructions, was showing that across the board it was matching and beating the Intel counterpart without its turbo clock turned on. And Intel had its turbo boost on in those demos.
Yeah, but here's the sleight of hand thing, and this, I'll be the naysayer here. Is you can train benchmarks, right? You can train the processor, you can train the technology to be very, very quick in one circumstance and be very slow in another as a result. It's really hard to optimize something to be quick across the board with all different types of operations, be it single-threaded, multi-threaded. There's different types of multi-threaded programming. There's thread pool-based programming. There's parallel processing. So basically we have 4 threads that are all working together towards a common goal, or thread pooling, where you're basically taking thousands of operations and handing them out like cards as fast as you can, which means every single one of those threads needs to do a context switch going in and coming out. So if the CPU is slow with context switching, but fast at executing multi-threaded code, you still get hurt. So there's a lot of factors in there. Plus, it's not just megahertz for megahertz. A lot of people think, oh, if you have an AMD CPU that's 4.2 gigahertz or whatever run up against an Intel that's 3.5, it's going to kick its ass. And it might in some areas, but where it really comes into, the thing that's most important, it's how the cache is utilized and how the instructions are utilizing that cache, because almost everything you do on your computer is a repetitive operation or contains millions of repetitive operations.
Part of what hurt Bulldozer in moving forward was the way that the L2 cache and L3 cache was accessed. So
yeah. And it was downright slow by comparison to Intel. So
the reason for that was Bulldozer had. This is where a lot of the debate came in. Was it a true 8-core or was it a 4-core? Because it had 4 core modules on there with 2 physical cores per module. So it didn't have hyper-threading. It didn't have a core that was able to split its load and be hyper-threaded. It had 4 split its load. That sounds kind of dirty. Anyway, it had 4 core modules with 2 physical cores on there. But the problem was each of those 2 cores on the module had to share access to the cache. So that's what made it slow. That's not the case anymore.
It was great for 2 threads, but then if you went to 3 threads or 4 threads, then you had to start proxying data across that boundary, and that would slow.
And that's not the case anymore.
No.
And
now
it has 20 megabytes of that L3 cache.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, because the early like leaked specs that everyone was like, oh my god, leaked back in like February and January of this year, said that it was gonna have 64 megs of cache, which would have been amazing, but no, it doesn't.
You know what cracks me up is people don't realize that I have banning capability in the chat. They think only you do, so they're like, "Fuck Jerry." I'm like, "Boom, banned by Barnacules Nerdcast." It's like, what?
Of course, I give you access.
Yeah, careful where you talk shit, guys. I got my hand on the trigger over here.
Okay, I've banned a few people already. I got a couple comments I want to read when you're done.
Do it. No, go.
These are the donation comments. So Gohan20 says, thanks for everything and the water cooling videos, especially that helped give me that push to create my custom loop. Hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you, sir. I do have another water cooling video coming tomorrow. It is the new EV2 fittings from Monsoon. I've yet to take a look. We're not having an earthquake, guys, I promise. I'm just moving, and it shakes the whole desk, and then the camera starts to wiggle there because it's on the monitors, which are on a stand. Anyway, I have not looked at any Monsoon fittings in years, and the Monsoon fittings are offering something different that I think is actually pretty freaking amazing. And they weren't sent to me by Monsoon; they were actually sent to me by Performance PC. So it's not one of those like, oh, it was sent by Monsoon. No, it's not. I can't wait to show you guys that. They're actually pretty cool. And some of them, and what are you laughing at?
Oh, sorry, everybody in the chat's like, Jerry's sexy. Jerry is awesome. We love Jerry.
Oh, I see a fuck Jerry. Just kidding.
After I said I banned that guy. He's like, I love Jerry. Leave me alone. Stop. Oh, my God.
Jeffrey Bishop says, Jay, at any time for fan meetups at CES? Probably not. You're absolutely right. There's no time for fan meetups at CES.
Just find him. He likes it when you just approach him when he's in the middle of talking to a client. Like, that's the best time to just get up into the
Actually, they can't even do that because all the areas I'm going to be accessing are all closed to the public.
Damn, you're all like next level.
No, dude, that's CES. CES is not open to the public. And then all the private suites I'm going to are in, like, penthouses and stuff in the hotel that have, like, are being guarded by, like, security guards in suits and shit. Anyway.
Dude, I need to talk to you at some point about how to be more assertive when I go to cons and things like that, because I never take advantage of any of the crap where it's like, cut the line, do the media thing, none of that. I just be a person, and it always turns into fail boat.
You think I'm going there as a person? What are you talking about?
You're not a person. You are a god among technology men.
That's not true. That's not
All
true.
right.
Jerry, this was a two-parter. He says, Jerry, you find your way to get there. Want a bunk mate? This is not weird at all. Or that's not weird. Is what he says.
CES? Do I want a bunk
Jerry,
mate?
Jerry could have gone to CES any year he wanted. He just didn't.
Well, wait. How much did he donate to you? I need to get a feeling on if he's going to need my kidneys or not.
25 shmoola.
Okay, so he's probably good on the kidneys. All right, I'll think about it. Honestly, on this short notice, there is no way I could get a flight at this point out to CES. Like, even if I had somebody to bunk with.
Of course you could. You get a flight to me and then you drive out. I'm driving. I'm not flying.
Yeah, but I can't drive. I don't want to like fly down there and have to like rent a car or drive. I mean, you're going to be full up. I don't think you're going to have room for me.
I'm renting an SUV because I've got Coconut Monkey and I've got Drax on. Frank and Nick are going with me.
When are you guys driving out?
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning?
But Wednesday's completely booked up for me because I'm doing a special collab video with Kyle, myself, and Austin Evans. So that entire day I've turned down like all of the press conferences and keynotes because we're doing our own damn thing that day.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Theoretically, if by some miracle I was able to get a flight down to you before CES, could I crash at your place the night before, get a ride into Vegas, and then I'm just going to spend all the days just wandering around?
You would quite literally just be wandering around.
That's all I do. I would not be it'd be me and my cell phone. Like, I probably wouldn't even take my main camera. I would literally just be wandering around, probably drunk for the entire.
Okay, I want to digress again right now. I want to digress. My car is now full up.
Okay, all right. Thank you. You're actually probably doing me a favor because the last thing I need right now is to go back for a couple days and just wander around drunk by myself.
I don't want to be responsible for getting you back to California and getting you home.
You're probably, you know what? I'm going to say that's a solid call. That's probably solid call.
Look, okay. So here's my schedule so far for Vegas, and it's not full by any means. I have more I have to squeeze in there. And this also doesn't even include like all of the parties and shit that take place. The after parties are a big deal because you have to mingle with the sponsors and stuff, right? Okay, so Wednesday the 4th, the entire day is going to be booked up with the Austin Evans event, or Austin Evans video. So on the 5th, I've got a Patriot meeting, an EVGA meeting, a Gigabyte meeting, a Zotac meeting, and a Zotac party, and an EVGA party, as well as a data. Shit, how am I going to be at 3 parties at the same time?
Dude. Okay, no, I got you covered. Okay.
No, the EVGA and A-Data party are the same. They're the same. There's like 3 companies that are hosting one party, but I have 2 parties to be at the same time. Friday, I've got A-Data, Corsair, iBuyPower, Digital Storm, and Asus. And then Saturday and Sunday, I've got the showroom floor. So yeah. Anyway, Asus has finally reached out to me and wants to work with me now.
That took them long enough.
Well, it took a shakeup in the personnel, if you will. So there was personal issues there, and now that person with personal issues aren't there anymore, we're actually going to be working together.
We have an important comment that needs to be read here. Okay.
Oh boy.
So okay, this is very important. So Stagny said the fat dude is annoying. He interrupts a lot. He likes the sound of his own voice and seems desperate for attention. This is sad. Okay, and I read that because I agree on all parts that you need.
Except for you're wearing closed back headphones that are not feeding back into your. You see, you can't even hear yourself talking. Why do you think you're screaming?
You're gone. I don't know why today. I feel good. I feel good getting rid of all these little shits. Oh my god, I love the people that are nice and supportive. If you're gonna go watch a stream just to bitch about it, why the hell aren't you just watching something else that you like? Right?
Look. Do you surround yourself with friends that don't like the other friends?
No, that'd be dumb.
Exactly. Okay, I like this comment though. Are you ready?
Yeah, do it.
So this is from Clint Flippo. He says, Jay, you're a super great person. I like him already. Your content is amazing. Okay, the check is in the mail, I swear. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? Do you hear that?
Was that on my side?
No, that was this. Oh, so my neighbor has a really shitty straight piped like E30 BMW.
Okay.
And the car sounds like ass, but he wants the whole neighborhood to know it. Okay, anyway.
That'd be funny if he was watching this, like ironically sitting there. He's like,
"The fuck, dude, come over here, man. I need to put a muffler on your car." Okay.
You are a straight shooter. You are the type of person that will literally just like look you in the eyes and be like, "Yeah, you smell like sardines. Go take a shower." I mean, you're that kind of guy.
Your content is amazing. You helped me build my first computer. It's a 6700K with a GTX 1080. He said, "Guys like you, Kyle, and Paul really have inspired me tons of other." It's interesting grammar.
Okay.
You're very welcome. Barn, I'm sorry I haven't yet started watching your content, but I will, I promise.
It's don't even bother at this point. YouTube's already like done something and blacklisted my channel. So
I saw Boogie complaining about that too, but
it's hitting everybody.
I wasn't being a smartass on Twitter when I said that this new algorithm wasn't affecting me. So far, it hasn't. So
no. Here's the interesting thing. It wasn't affecting me either until about a week ago. And I was like on Twitter, I'm like, I haven't seen any problem. And then boom, there was the clear drop off. Now I'm not hitting the problem so much with the subscriber drop. I'm hitting the problem with the sub box issue.
That's what I'm saying. Like my subscriber growth did take a sudden like dip in terms of the amount of subscribers I was gaining per day, but it only did it for one day, and I still attribute that to this being final season right now. You and I've talked about this before. There's 2 times of the year where I can guarantee the views drop. That is. All right, guys, if you're hearing the beeping, I apologize. My window's open and there's a truck out there fucking doing shit. Okay. It was bugging me, so I know you guys had to hear it. Jay's volume is low. My volume is fine. Is my volume better now? Sorry, headphone users, but I was getting pissed.
Somebody said Jay's getting Terry Crews viewers. That's why.
No, actually, I bring Terry Crews viewers, if you want to be technical.
No, I'm sure.
So I was saying stuff, and then beeping in my head made me lose my train of thought.
I know. I hate it when that just some random little thing just derails you. But
I was saying words and things that were good and stuff, and what? Oh yeah, we were talking about the drop off, the YouTube drop off.
Yes. How is it affecting you?
Okay, so 2 times a year, I guarantee that sub growth slows down. It's still green numbers, but it's slowed down. That is winter finals and just before summer break. Because think about it, a lot of the people that watch us are of the school age, whether it be high school or college. And the high school kids and the middle school kids, it's like, you can't watch the YouTube. You got to do your homework. But mom, nope, do your homework, right? Yep. And then once they go on summer break, boom, everything takes off. And right now, this is finals week. Next week, I guarantee the numbers will be up again. You just watch; they'll be up.
No. And the other thing with YouTube, and this is actually just advice to any of you guys out there that are doing YouTube. What? What's going on now?
This comment just got my attention as it scrolled past. It's Fernando. Fernando says, "Jay, you are dynamic as fuck, a true Renaissance man." What does that mean?
I guess you're just dynamic as fuck, bro.
I guess.
Roll with it. So anyways, Game Theorist did a video that actually made a lot of sense. He actually went through and analyzed the data from like tons and tons of channels using all their social blade stats and everything like that. And the conclusion that he came to is that YouTube's algorithm is now favoring watched minutes over anything else. Like over views, over subscribers, over everything. The thing that determines you the highest SEO is how long minutes people are watching your content.
I saw Boogie's reference to that. Okay. And I haven't watched his algorithm theories yet, because you know what? I'll tell you right now, I don't fucking chase the algorithm. I never try to do anything to appease the algorithm. I don't know what the algorithm is. I do my thing and I hope it catches traction. But if we're talking about minutes watched, My watched time, my watched minutes for the last 30 days, as this is loading, is 34.3 million minutes watched. So that's got to mean something, right?
That's up there.
34.3 million minutes?
Dude. My watch time for the last 28 days is 16 million. You're
okay, so double, more than double. Yeah.
Yeah. And what are your views for the last 30 days?
5.6 million.
Okay, so no, you're a little under double me, but you're double the watch minutes. So people are definitely watching more of your content, like minute for minute. So it's an interesting theory, though, but nobody actually knows the truth because YouTube guards that secret very closely. Like I've talked to people who are like, oh, I got a guy that works at YouTube. Yeah, I got tons of friends that work at Google. And they know little things about like some of the SQL queries they're used, but none of them have the definitive picture of this is what makes your content popular, over person A versus person B. But personally, I think YouTube just likes to shake shit up. Over our entire careers, we've seen ups, we've seen downs, we've seen all kinds of things change while we remain static. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, I almost think YouTube sometimes turns things down just a little bit so that all the channels that are like the bot channels, the people re-uploading people's content, they just give up and they just die off. It's like we all get starved for a while, they die off, and then they turn it back on.
What?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
Oh, you can hear me?
No, I'm just kidding. I'll be honest. Can I be the contrast? Can I be the yin to your yang?
Damn it. The comment over here, is it hard? It's hard to watch Jerry's new content because it doesn't exist. Zing.
That's not true. You've uploaded more videos than when you were
like crazy lately.
Okay.
Oh my God, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you guys want me to do? Daily uploads?
Yeah.
From December 8th. What is today? The 15th. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos out. Come on, in like 8 days.
Okay, the giveaway video is a throwaway, and the 20% off of your store is a throwaway. Okay.
Not as far as I see it, though.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate on this one,
dude. Like 1 out of 3 of your videos is a goddamn giveaway. You shut up. You shut your dirty whore mouth.
No, it's not, dude. I've said as I approach 1 million views or subscribers, I've been giving away more stuff, but I've done 2 giveaways this year.
Wait, you've only done 2 giveaways this year. Are you sure about that?
Okay, with the exception of the 500,000 subscriber giveaway, because that was in January, so that's still technically this year.
Let's see. Hold on here. So giveaway 1080, giveaway 1080, 500,000 subscriber giveaway. Oh, damn, you're right.
I don't do a lot of giveaways.
So I can't fucking blame that either now. You're just really good.
No, I'm not good. I just didn't quit. I'm consistent, and YouTube favors consistency. That's the only thing the algorithm I think cares about is consistency.
No, I completely agree. And honestly, I mean, we both know the reason why I'm doing bad is more because of my emotional state and what's been going on in my life. So
why is there a scratch between your eyes? I've been wanting to ask this whole show.
My cat attacked the shit out of me the other night. So my cat was in heat, and if you have a cat that's in heat, the funnest thing to do ever is basically flip them over on their back and just smack their belly while they freak out.
Because there's a scratch between your eyes, next to your nose, and on the tip of your nose.
So anyways, my cat's like sitting there like, I don't know if I like this or not. I don't know if I like this or not. And then it's just like, fuck you. And just like lunged at my face. And this is a cat that has never like been aggressive in any capacity. And then as soon as she attacked my face, I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. She's on the bed mowing at me.
Did your cat basically go?
My cat had an orgasm and scratched the shit out of my face.
That's what I was gonna say. Your cat is into like BDSM.
Yeah, you know what else is weird too is we got 2 female cats, and I don't know what the hell's wrong with this picture, but one of them goes into heat and the other one's out of heat, and then they swap places within a day. So one goes out of heat 24 hours later, the next one's in heat, and they've done this 3 or 4 times. The vet says it's perfectly normal for littermate females to do this. But what I didn't think was perfectly normal is the one that's not in heat attacks the other one, bites its neck, and pins it to the ground and kicks the shit out of it. Well, like it's the male cat.
My wife keeps sending me Christmas wish lists, and it's all like food maker shit. That's like I'm winning on this season, man.
No, you're not winning because you're going to gain all that weight back.
That's not true. I still control my food intake.
Yeah, I've gained 7 pounds back, and I'm not too happy about that. So I need to work on that. But I'm still way down from where I started. Holy crap!
My wife has been like, for her birthday, I got her a pressure cooker. She wanted it, guys. Okay, so yes, it's a kitchen item. It's not a joke.
One of those ones that you put? Is it one of the ones that you put on the stove? Like,
No, it's electronic, right?
okay.
So it almost looks like a crock pot, but it's a pressure cooker. So it can take things that are frozen, like chicken and whatever, from frozen to plate in like 20 minutes.
No, we have one. They're the most badass thing ever. Like my wife makes this. She puts frozen chicken. And it's like 10, 15 minutes. You put it over rice, and it's like it was cooking all day.
Um, yeah. So like there's only two things she's asked for her birthday, which was on the 7th, and Christmas is I watch bands and things to cook food in. It's like kind of a weird contrast, I think.
I like this. Jerry had a pussy pounce on his face just for touching it. That's accurate. That's
And
actually
complained about it.
Oh my god! You know what the worst comment I received though when I posted a video on Instagram of my cat. Basically, I was just talking to her and she was doing her little sex dance that she does because she's all horny. And somebody said, would you please stop torturing that cat and give her the Q-tip?" And I was like,
"What?"
So somebody's like, "Give her the Q-tip." So I went and looked it up. It's actually a thing, and I'm not going to explain it. You guys can look it up. Q-tipping a cat.
Okay. Is that gonna somehow like flag me?
Probably. It's just what you think it is. It's absolutely terrible. But apparently some people swear it's a means for taking a cat out of heat. And I was like, why would I want to like take my cat out of heat? They're fucking awesome when they're in heat. They just like snuggle and leave wet spots all over the carpet. It's awesome.
Last donation comment I have to read right now. So,
Jay's like, I don't know how to follow that.
I'm sorry. Cat sex tips is more Linus's forte.
Dude, my cat is straight up the cat from South Park. You know the no kitty, that's my Patsy. Oh, that's my cat.
So Capson James said, or Capson James. What?
The chat just caught up with what I was saying. Everybody's like, "What?" Oh my god. Wow.
Capson James says, "I was just wondering when the last time you guys had diarrhea."
Yesterday. I drank.
I can't remember the last time I had diarrhea, but I did take a poop that stuck out of the water.
Oh, the Periscope.
Yeah. Those are the ones I turn around and I'm like, "Damn, good on you, Jay. Good on you."
Okay, wait a second.
I just cleansed.
Are you and Coconut Monkey close enough that you send him your magnificent turd pictures? Like when it's a turd that is beyond mention, like it will never occur again. Like I had one that was seriously the circumference of a soup can. Like I don't know how I passed it without like bleeding out. And I took a picture of it and sent it to Greg.
Well, that's because you're always sticking shit up your butt.
No, I'm not. You don't know me.
I do know.
Dude, everybody, or the swirly where you do the shit where it starts in the hole and then it progressively wraps around until it comes out.
Oh, I call that one the tasty freeze.
That's the tasty freeze. This is the best tech talk we've ever done, Jay. I'm gonna put this in the top 10.
Poop talk.
This is the top 10, even though some people are bitching about us not talking about tech, but obviously they've never seen the show before.
Linus is Hero Timix or whatever your stupid name is. He says Linus is better. What the fuck are you doing over here for?
Yeah, why are you watching this shit? Go watch Linus. I'm sure you haven't watched every fucking thing he's ever made. Go watch his stuff.
Defend Pop Punk says, "So this is tech talk, huh?" Yep. Yep. We talked about tech. We've got 30 minutes now to talk about whatever we want. We talked about a lot of tech in here, dude.
Let me get through some of my donations here.
Oh, you have some? That's awesome.
Yeah, well, like 3.
I had 5. 4.
Steven said, let's see, from Stranger the Steve. Okay, Stranger Steve.
Oh, yeah, he's donated to me before, too.
He said, Jerry, put this towards Xander. Put this towards building Xander an energy-efficient Ryzen space heater. Merry Christmas. I don't mind building Xander an AMD system because he's never known what good is. So, why start now? It's all uphill from there. Alan said, wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Happy New Year. And by the way, guys, all of the donations that I received today on Tech Talk are all going towards spoiling Xander. I don't care if it's $50 or $50,000 and I buy him an Escalade, whatever. It's all his.
I like how you start 50 or 50,000.
50 or 50,000. I try to be realistic. Conrad said, I think the Samsung should allow you to keep the phone, but if the phone blows up, they aren't at fault. Yeah, no shit, right? Like, I should be able to sign like a thing on their website that says, please do not fuck my phone with your firmware. I am digitally signing here with my VeriSign ID or whatever the shit they need, and I accept all of the penalties if this phone explodes and burns my house down. Like, why can't I do that?
So, sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but Quells on Twitter, he's all, I thought you would appreciate my completely original, not inspired by Skunkworks 1-bit PC build. And literally, it's like almost identical to Skunkworks. And I sent him a reply, and I said, "Pretty. Whoever came up with that color scheme is an incredibly handsome and smart man."
You should just reply back and be like, copyright flag, copyright flag. Let's see here. Hey Jerry, I hope you make Xander's holiday special. I'm gonna make his holiday special. I was thinking of going from two 27-inch 1080p monitors to 50 to 55-inch 4K TVs. Yes, you should. They are awesome. I really am getting annoyed by the middle bezel of the ultra wides are not big enough. Even on the LG 38-inch. Yeah, I don't like bezels, but the bezels get smaller as the TV gets bigger because it's proportional, right? Let's see. What? Also wondering if I should go curved. I don't really like the curved screens. Jay's had a curved screen in his living room before, and it's kind of gimmicky. I don't think it would be any worse or any better, but I don't personally think it'd be cool. Let's see here. I will only be 30 inches away from the chair. Yeah, the curved one. I think the curved would look cool if they were on a giant desk and they all followed that exact same arc. But if you had to tilt the outer screens in anymore, I think it would just look weird. What do you think, Jay?
Huh?
You're not even paying attention.
I'm doing what you do when you're talking. I'm interacting.
It's okay. No. Okay. So Jay, I'll sum it up for you. Which would you rather have as a computer monitor, a flat screen or a curved screen?
The Predator's curve is extremely subtle, and I don't even notice it. So I would probably prefer to have a really subtle curve if it's like a 34-inch or bigger.
But the TVs don't have a subtle curve, right? He's talking about the 50-inch TVs. So they're.
Oh, I would never sit in front of a TV as a monitor anyway, so that's nullified.
Okay. Fair enough. But you sat in front of can you at least admit that the 50-inch screens I had the last time you came up, the 4K resolution is pretty cool on a big 50-inch screen? I mean, other than the color
it is pretty cool, but the slight input delay is bad.
I swear you want to just notice that input delay.
I do. Okay, just usually if a person is FPS sensitive, if they can see the FPS differences between 60 and 100, 120 and 144, like they can really see the differences big time. Yeah. They typically will notice input lag. I notice FPS. I am FPS sensitive. I notice the input lag on a TV. I can't do it.
And you use a wired mouse, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay, so yeah, no, that makes sense because I actually have used a wireless mouse before and noticed the lag on it being significant where other people use it and they're like, oh no, it's fine.
I do have the Logitech G602 wireless mouse, I believe it is, on my home theater PC, so I can use it by the couch and stuff. And I will say that is probably the least amount of wireless lag I've ever felt in a mouse. Yeah.
He also wanted a recommendation on a TV, like a 50-inch screen for around $1,000. Honestly, I love the Samsung panels. They're really nice. You're not going to get something that's full blown IPS in that size for that kind of money, but they are nice. And check to make sure they support game mode. That is the most important feature of any TV you're going to use as a computer monitor. Is you have to be able to enable game mode, which in layman's terms means disable all internal processing and make it a dummy screen that's literally just displaying the signal as the graphics card's sending it. Like you can't tweak the colors, you can't tweak, that's all done from the graphics card because it's just a dummy panel, and that will reduce your lag down significantly. But even the best screens right now that are 50-inch, you're going to be looking at probably 15 to 25 millisecond lag. Even in the best. And don't go OLED. OLED screens are beautiful, but they have way too much input lag. All right, let's see what else.
I have not tried gaming with a computer on my OLED screen. Like the Xbox One though doesn't care, but it's also not the new one that's 4K and has the HDR, which people were complaining on the OLED screens had an issue. But yeah, LG also updated the firmware, which is supposed to help with that.
Yeah, no, I think the newest generation OLED screens are still are much better than the old ones, but they're still nowhere close to the previous generation panels, like the TNs and stuff that were running in the screens.
Yeah.
Let's see. Vincent said, my stepdad is a guy taking pictures in public with a tablet. That's a good cheaper point and shoot I can get for him. He's taking pictures of the tablet in public. Oh my God, whenever I see people do that, I laugh so hard. It's like, dude, you're an iPad to take pictures. Like your phone's got a camera on it, I bet. As a point and shoot camera, oh God, go find and Jay, you might agree with me on this as far as like just the small point and shoot cameras when you're doing photography, not necessarily video, but the Canon Power Shots. Those itty bitty little Canon Power Shots. You find them all over Craigslist and eBay. You can pick them up for like $100-$200. The ones that can actually do really good resolution. I think they're 15-20 megapixel. They're fantastic for taking pictures. They're not quite as good as the Sony, but they're also not $900.
I have not used a point and shoot in years, so I don't know what's good anymore.
check out the Canon power shot. So if he's just taking pictures, if he's doing video and stuff like that, take a look at some of the Sony. The Sonys are a little bigger, but the thing I like about the power shots is they're so thin. Like you could literally just slide that thing into your pocket, and it's like your wallet. You wouldn't even really notice it's there. And I think is that it? Oh no, I got one more from Clayton, and Clayton didn't have a message. He just sent me $25. Thank you, Clayton. I'm gonna spend it on Xander.
So someone replied to my tweet where I was like, whoever came up with that color scheme is an incredibly handsome and smart man. And someone replies, don't forget humble.
Oh shit. Hashtag sarcasm, right?
No, they were completely honest. I am extremely humble.
You are the least humble person I've ever met in my entire life. I ate humble pie that wasn't
really
humbler than you.
You really think I'm the least humble person you've ever met? You've never met anyone that's more really?
Okay, wait,
Adam.
wait. Hold on. Okay, let me rephrase that. In my internet friend genre, you rate pretty high, but compared to Adam, I don't think yet. Yeah, Adam doesn't know what the word humble means, and that's okay because Adam doesn't.
He's always that's a bee, right? A humble bee. It flies around.
Adam's one of those people where you just don't play top trumps with him. Just don't ever do that. I think that's the name of the game that the British people call it.
I don't know, man. If we're going by rich friends, I'm friends with Terry Crews now, so I've got a richer friend.
That's true. I don't know. Is Terry Crews richer than he is? I mean, I can't see what his net worth is, but it's a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the problem is like how accurate are those? Like how much is this celebrity worth? They're not.
They're
There's also a major difference between liquid assets versus their investments or tied up assets or just physical assets.
Yeah, so. and they're different. They're different types of celebrities. Like Adam has an IMDb credit and all that stuff, and he did a lot of the editing stuff behind the scenes, and he's actually been on camera and some stuff too. But then you got Terry Crews, who's like his entire career is in front of the camera. Look, right?
Unless your name is freaking Ron Howard or Steven Spielberg, behind the camera, you ain't got no credit. It doesn't work out like that anymore. I mean, those guys right there, they get the credit for behind the scenes. But I'm sorry, but you could have been like the lead. You could have been like the lead special effects artist on Rogue One, and I'd be like, who? If you said his name.
Yeah, I know. My uncle Don Camburn, he actually did. You don't know who he is, but
I don't care what movie you're about to say. I don't know it.
Harry, you didn't know Harry and the Hendersons?
Oh, I know that. I know who Harry and the Hendersons is, but I couldn't tell you who he was.
What about Firestarter with Drew Barrymore?
No.
Okay, well, check the credits on both those movies because he did it, and I had to find that out later in life because I didn't even realize it. Even though I watched those movies and I knew of those movies for years, it wasn't until I actually met him in person that he's like, "Oh yeah, I did those," and I was like, "Oh."
I remember Harry and the Hendersons though. That was such a movies when we were kids. They don't make movies like that anymore.
No, they don't. They don't. And I love that movie.
Those were feel good movies, but not kiddie movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is, they didn't mind if they triggered you on some topics, right? It's like the whole middle of Harry and the Hendersons is basically like some dude hunting him and trying to kill him. I mean, it's like you wouldn't have that today. And again, that was a kid's movie, right? That was marketed to.
No, as a family movie.
Okay, family movie, fair enough. But still, it's like by today's standards, if you saw that like in a movie that was marketed like families and kids.
Okay, here's another really good movie from our childhood that most people have probably never seen unless you're older than say 30. Flight of the Navigator. They don't make movies like that anymore.
One of my all-time favorites. Honestly, I've probably seen that movie. That's probably the fourth most watched movie I've ever seen. Like, I love that movie. Or oh God, there's another really good one. I can't remember the name. It just left my head.
It's not that good then.
No, you know the guy, The Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah.
Freaking amazing movie, right? Like
basically playing an arcade game, right?
Yeah. The whole story is about a kid that plays an arcade game, and the arcade game is put on Earth to basically test people's skills. And he beats the game, and so the aliens come down and pick him up and basically make him like one of their fighters and their like real fighting force. It's a killer movie. You have to see it. It's really clever. Even by today, it still kind of stands up. I miss movies like that. I really do. I feel like today movies hinge way too much on special effects and not story.
Yeah.
Which in some cases I don't mind. Like watching like Avengers and stuff like that. Like I just, honestly, you guys are probably gonna want to beat me up for this, but it's like I don't go watch Iron Man and stuff for the story. I watch it just to see freaking Tony Stark kicking ass in a big robotic suit. That's like 90% of why I go.
Yeah, I think I'm close to you on agreeing with that. I still like the Avengers story quite a bit, but I do feel like the realism and special effects today is what really pulls the crowd in.
Yeah.
But also too, I feel like a lot of moviegoers today, like you said, they they go for a different reason. They don't go for the pure story anymore. Because I mean, when we were kids in the 80s, right? It was like the special effects was just starting to be computerized. I mean, do you guys know what the first animated film to actually use computers, or at least a Disney film to start using computers and stuff was Aladdin, and then Beauty and the Beast. And it's like, it changed everything. But when we were kids, man, we're talking about like when they still use freaking models, like miniature models for things.
Well, I remember Disney was still doing like individual cell art, like
lithography is what they call it.
And they'd still make it just like completely captivating, like Fantasia and stuff like that. It's like, you know, they literally a cell at a time.
Can I comment on something here real quick?
Please do.
I love to point out someone's stupidity when it really shines. Like,
I'm usually
when you make a comment that's literally like the words you typed are not what you're saying. What you've actually said is, I'm so stupid, I want to be noticed right now. El Diablo in the chat just said, NVIDIA's shit scared from Ryzen. Why the fuck would somebody with an NVIDIA graphics card be concerned about AMD's CPU?
Oh my God, that's like saying Lockheed Martin is shitting bricks over Ford.
I mean, literally, El Diablo just said, I want to say something so god-awful stupid right now. I want to stop the stream, and I want the entire internet to now look at me and be like, I'm going to point at that guy.
Okay, just in case he doesn't understand.
He just spelled good, G-U-D. And with that, you're blocked because I can. There, you're blocked. He said Tron was good in HD.
Oh, those fighting words. I wish they hadn't made the second Tron, because the first Tron was amazing.
I never watched the remake because I liked the first one so much.
It wasn't good. It literally was not good. The only reason
didn't it have freaking I have special skills and I will hunt you down and I'll kill you guy. Liam Neeson, wasn't he in it?
Wasn't he the dad? He might have been though. I haven't seen it in a while. They had the main guy though, from the original Tron.
Yeah.
And they did a really cool thing where they CGI'd him and made him look young again. It was actually pretty damn convincing. I mean, you could tell that there was CGI going on, but it was pretty damn close. But other than that, the story was just stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a good show. Take it easy, guys. Till next time.
We got 18 more. We got 18 more minutes.
18 more minutes. What do you guys want us to talk about? Give us a topic.
So our new policy of donation comments has made it so we can actually interact with you guys and talk about things. I like this.
We're still trying to get used to this whole concept.
Now we get time right now to kind of poll the audience here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go over here and see if anybody is using the Ask Tech Talk tag, even though we haven't mentioned it.
I doubt it, because we've been pretty bad about actually looking at Twitter during the streams.
The last one came in on November 17th from Sean. He said, don't forget to clean your case fans every so often. And have thermals till I realize this.
There's a really good piece of advice right there, guys.
Hey, here we go. I'm going to tell you guys all a really cool jerry rig. If you ever have a fan in your case that's twitching or slowing down or won't spin out,
he's probably having a seizure.
Yes. It's having a seizure. Pull the fan out.
A person is a little... Okay, never mind.
Dude, I'm going to save people so much money with this tip, okay? So pull the fan out. This has worked for me 100% of the time. Even with the fan completely seized. Take it out, rip the sticker off the back of it, and put 2 drops of silicone oil or 3-in-1 oil in the hole, and then put the sticker back on. Make sure you don't get oil all over so that the sticker won't re-stick back on there. Otherwise, it just pours out. And manually turn it with your finger for a minute or two as fast as you can. Plug that damn thing in, and it'll run like new again for years.
That's not actually a jerry rig. That's actually proper maintenance.
Well, I'm still going to call it jerry rig because that's what I did. It does work good, though. I actually recovered one of my Ultra Kazi fans, the big one, the 130 CFM fan that I have going from my network closet to the garage, which violates every fire code. Basically, one of the fans on the outside, it's a push-pull system. It froze up, like completely froze up solid, where you could barely even turn it. And we took it off the wall, and I had Adam was over, and my neighbor Jeremy was over, and they were taking bets. We're like, hey, do you guys think I can resurrect this thing? They're like, no way in hell, that thing isn't turning. I put 3-in-1 oil, and I had to work it for probably 5 or 6 minutes. But I finally got it to start loosened up. I stuck up on the wall. It is still running 6 months later in the garage.
Would you win?
Nothing, just the fact that I was right.
Yeah.
Which
I guess that's priceless around Adam.
It is. It actually is. It's rare. It's rare to actually be righter than Adam.
Righter. to be right. Technically, he was right. That thing was froze up pretty solid.
It was pretty froze up, but I was rider. It made me happy.
I saw a few people say just go ahead and do car talk. All right. If any of y'all are local in the Southern California area, January 22nd, weather permitting, I will be driving Nizzy on the Auto Club Speedway Roval track, which is about 2/3 of the oval. And, no, actually, it's probably just under half of the oval, and then the competition infield track. So it's gonna be fun.
So bring out your paintball guns and open up on them in the corners.
The unfortunate part is you can't spectate any of the infield because there's no grandstands there. You'll be sitting on top of the pit lane building there on the infield, watching the cars as they go past the high speed portion on the oval. So you don't get to see much of the turns and whatnot.
So you can't actually go out on the track. There's no like watch towers or anything that you can go out to on the track.
No. Not an ACS for damn sure. Huh?
Yeah, up at the ridge, the motorsports park that we have up here, there's actually like watching areas where you can go on the insides of corners where people aren't going to wreck, and you can actually spectate from there too. Like,
well, okay, so Willow Springs, there's places you could go around the track and watch and spectate. Like you could drive around or walk around up on the hill and watch, but not. Remember, this is a speedway. This is a super speedway. This is not like a track out in the desert.
No, this isn't out in the desert. This is in the woods, like right smack dab in the middle.
No,
like,
I'm telling you, ACS is a super speedway. So it's not it's not a super speedway. It's not fucking Talladega, but it is a oval track with a track in the middle. There's nowhere to go in there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, the ridge is literally just a motor. Both tracks we have up here, there's no oval. They're both just road tracks.
Right.
We have one called Pacific Raceways up here. And it's scary. I won't even do it because I know at least 3 people like personally that have flipped cars out there, and it's like I've never heard of anybody flipping cars at the ridge. So that's where I'm gonna go.
I put a video up today. It's things I hate about my Z34, and it's funny because it opened up an opportunity for a lot of people to just be like, now I'm gonna shit on your car and tell you all the things I hate about your car, right? All the people who don't like Zs are like, that's because the car sucks and blah 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 blah, which is kind of funny that people take that opportunity to start ripping on your car. But next video I'm going to do in that series is going to be things I love about my Z. And it's going to be that it turns better than yours. Not you, but theirs. Whatever. It turns better than your Subaru, though. I'm confident in that.
Right now it does. If I could put some stickier, wider tires on her, I think she'd give you a good run. She's got low center of gravity, that car.
Not when you're in it. But
no, especially when I'm in it.
No, I'm pretty confident with the way your suspension is set up for the dirt. Even if you put wider, stickier tires on it, that you're not going to be able to keep up.
No, I'm saying it would be a complete overhaul. I'd have to build the car for track to be able to be anywhere near competitive. And plus,
there are some fast Subarus out there that are track built, but then you're not going to have your desert or your dirt fun or your water fun where you are.
Well, I know a lot of the guys with the Subarus, they'll do they swap out I think it's the gears and the front differential so that the front, basically they make it so that less power is going to the front tires. So it's like a rear bias, 20% front. And then they handle great, but in their normal configuration, like they're understeer monsters. They are. The only way to combat the understeer is to just do shitloads of toe on a sticky tire in the front, huge sway bar, no sway bar in the back. Just let the back end cock a tire. And then the thing will actually handle half decent, but it won't look as graceful as your car. I mean, it'll literally be howling and shit the whole way around the track. But
you think my car doesn't make any tire noise?
Is it pretty loud out on the track?
Oh my god! When I'm driving the car right, yeah. There's a quote from one of the guys in our track group that says, "If it handles like rails, you ain't going fast enough."
Yeah. The car I'm most interested in driving next. I'm just waiting for James Rimmer to get back from GRC up in Canada. By the way, he took second place on one of the snow stages. The video is crazy. Like, I cannot believe the balls that kid has driving. I could never do that. But when he gets back, we're gonna do a shootout between my Stage 2 STI that's leaking oil and shit against his brand new 2016 Ford Focus RS. Mm-hmm. RS has 350 horsepower stock, weighs 200 pounds less than my STI. Actually, no, I think it's 400 pounds less than my STI.
Wait. What year Focus RS?
This is the 2016 Ford Focus RS. Might be a 2017 because he just got it. Let's see, Ford Focus RS.
Yeah, 350 horsepower, 350 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah. Dude, it's a race car. It costs. They're spendy though. I mean, I think he paid a little bit more for it because they wanted to get it when it was really hard to obtain. So, but like 40.
But, dude, it's got a curb weight of 3,459 pounds.
So yeah, still 200 pounds lighter than my car. Because mine's
The 215 Subaru WRX STI has 3,456 pounds. The STI is 3 pounds lighter, the newer one, and it's bigger.
Oh, the new one they shaved the weight. Yeah, but mine isn't. The old one that I have is 3,600 pound curb weight. I think. Now you got me curious. There might actually be 34. These might be pretty evenly matched. Let's see, Subaru 2005 STI curb weight. See what we got here.
33.
Because I'd figure that the older car would be lighter. It usually is. The weight goes up because of all the freaking safety shit they got to put on these things.
Mine's 3,300 pounds.
Yeah, because you don't have a freaking all-wheel drivetrain that makes it way. But that's a 2 point in that Ford. It's a 2.3 liter putting down 350, and it has no turbo leg. Like even just sitting in a parking lot in neutral,
yeah,
you gas and you hear the turbo. Whoots, and I'm
like, okay, so. When I was at Willow Springs, there's only two straights in that track. If you count the chicane, because you go straight through the chicane, you don't turn through the chicane.
Yeah.
So there was a red Focus, or I'm sorry, red Fiesta. So the Fiesta also has a turbo in it.
Yes.
And it's also much lighter. And I know for a fact that going into coming into the last turn into the straight, turn 14 down to the straight, that he was 2 turns behind me. Now the straight is only long enough for me to get up to 110 miles per hour. But damn, when I turned off the straight onto the skid pad, which is turn 1 and 2, fucker was at my corner panel. I was like, where the hell did you come from? That thing was so freaking fast, that little Fiesta.
Wasn't stock. There's no way.
No, it wasn't stock. It wasn't stock, but he didn't do much to it either in terms of making it go faster. He had a tune, a downpipe, a catless exhaust, and then tires and wheels. He had race tires.
Yeah, the EcoBoost engines are actually getting a lot of press for being amazingly reliable motors that put out a lot of reliable power. Yeah. Like I know that they use the EcoBoost in one of the, actually it may even be the current Ariel Atom. They use the EcoBoost in that little F1 car. Have you seen that little Ford track car that they make that looks like a Formula One car? That's got the EcoBoost motor in it. And they just put down great power.
You know how I knew that he was at my corner panel? One, I always check my mirrors, right? Because it's when I want someone to let me by, I get pretty aggressive. I get right up on their bumper. I make them uncomfortable. That's how they point me by, right? And at my window, I heard as he let off the gas as he was trying to pass me. As he was trying to pass me going into the skid pad, because he couldn't pass if I didn't point by, because it's point by only in that group. But right as we get into the turn, I cut it on my line, and right in my left window, I heard I was like, okay, fine, go.
Yeah, those cars, I'm sure he was all turbo. I mean, if he was catching you, that car had quite a bit of boost going.
Well, but that was second session of the day too, when I was still in learning mode with Doherty, my instructor.
Oh, fair enough.
The third session was when I put down the fastest times of the session. So
I think somebody just posted my curb weight in chat. Let me see here.
Wait, your car or you? I love you, Jerry. I love you so much.
I know. I haven't looked it up. I can't find it. Just looking it up really quick, but I think it's probably 2,400 pounds because I think I was thinking the S4. I think the Audi S4 is 200 pounds more.
Oh, okay.
So 2,400 pounds, but still a 350 on the Ford versus 350, but mine's stage 2 350, so mine's not from the factory with that. Yeah. I'm curious how they handle, because the thing is the Ford has a trick diff in it, and it's got something called drift mode, where you basically push a button and it transfers 80 to the back and 20 to the front, and it can basically take rob all the power away from the front and a slide.
Yeah.
So you can transition. Yeah, it's supposed to be crazy good.
Let me make a suggestion for getting you out here to go to the track.
Yeah.
Skip ACS. Okay. ACS, it's fun. It's fast. I'm gonna get passed by all the GTRs and the GT3 RSs on the oval part, because my car just does not. I mean, it's 380 brake horsepower. I'm putting 331 to the wheels. It's not gonna compete on the big part of the track with those cars. Yep. But if you really want to hear or feel how my car handles, come out in February when we go back to Chuckwalla, which is out in the desert.
No, I totally will.
It also has a fishbowl.
If you a fishbowl? What, where you just go out and just drift around?
No, it's a 180-degree banked turn.
Oh, wow.
It's called the fishbowl. Yeah, and I can go through that flat out, and there's so much G-force. There's so much G-force and so much grip.
No, I totally want to do it. I totally want to come down there and do that. If you let me know like the exact dates, like even
I already have the dates. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what it is right now. That way, if any of you guys are car guys and live in Southern California, you can sign up for Speed Ventures and come out. And
I'll just plan down like a day or two before and stay a day or two after, and we'll just make that a part of the trip.
Yeah, absolutely. So the dates are, like I said, ACS is the 22nd of January. Come on, here we go. All right, so warm-up session is 122, right, January 22nd. Round one of the Nissan Challenge is Chuckwalla, and that is February 12th.
Okay, so that'd be the one you'd want me at, right?
Yeah, Button Willow would actually be a faster, better track, but it's over 3 hours away, and I skip Button Willow because it's just too far. I'll probably end up towing my car to Chuckwalla anyway, because again, that's out in the middle of the desert. Yeah, and then Big Willow is April 1st. Big Willow's fun. There's only 9 turns in Big Willow, though.
I need to find somebody down there that'll loan me a car. Be like, hey guys, can I borrow your car, take it to the track?
Borrowing someone's car to go get coffee or something's nerve-wracking enough, but to borrow someone's car to go on the track, that ain't my cup of tea.
I don't know. I'm about to go sit in like a $250,000 like one of a kind car and drive around and make a YouTube video. So I don't know.
Driving around and making YouTube videos is one thing. Taking it onto the track is something else.
I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on who's driving that day, because the way I see it is people that are on a track have to have some kind of competence in what the hell they're doing to get there, whereas out on the street, you don't have to have any.
Okay.
We just seeing people out there just flying off the track all day.
No. Oh, okay. Only the Mustangs, and that's not actually a Mustang.
That's by design. That's what I do, Jay.
That's not a Mustang joke. I'm not even kidding. At Willow Springs, the first session I went out, the cold session, our tires are fucking freezing cold, and every single Mustang in that session spun. I'm not even joking. Every single Mustang spun.
Oh, that's the wrong fucking factory tires to be putting on those cars.
They weren't factory tires.
They were? Oh my god.
This was a case of too much torque and too little traction because of tire temperature, and they just got on it too soon.
Did you see anybody out there running the Dodge Charger Hellcats?
No, none of the Charger guys go out there. They know that their cars are great for straight line performance.
Yeah, because I was going to say the Hellcats, I hear that they're a handful even in a straight line. I'd be curious to see if somebody could actually track one of those without wrecking it. I got two last minute donations came in. Michael said, been using the Obodo Revolution 3 as my primary desk for a year. Holy shit, wow. Really? Is your primary desk? Because I know you can get the units to do it, but I just didn't think anybody would actually do it. Any recommendations for a drop-in replacement that's actually comfortable? Extended use and hard racing seats kind of sucks. For that frame, it actually sits on a standard frame rail, so you should be able to actually buy any racing seat you want and stick it on there. So
I kind of wish the seats that are on that Obodo were like DOT rated, because that seat's comfortable. I would throw that in my car.
Yeah, I know, right? It's actually a really comfortable seat. But if you're looking for something more comfortable, actually, it's gonna look stupid, but it'd be more comfortable. Is go find yourself like somebody on Craigslist that swapped out their seats in their like Honda Civic or their Camry or something like that, and literally get a comfortable like OEM car seat, not a racing seat. Yeah, I mean, if you want something comfortable and put it on there, because I used a 2001 Toyota Corolla seat as my office chair at Microsoft for 10 years, and I loved it. I never changed seats again after that, because I just mounted it to like an Abflex lounge, which was kind of funny because I used a piece of like exercise equipment to make a chair. But no, it was absolutely comfortable, because car seats like that are designed for long road trips. They're not like race car seats that are designed to like support you and glue you to the car for a short period of time. These are just designed to be like the Barca loungers of the road. So yeah, do something like that. And if you do, please post pictures, because I want to see an Obodo Revolution with like a giant Cadillac Escalade seat on it or something. I got one more. Okay. Jared Zarnikow. We all know Mr. Zarnikow. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Looking good today without the beard. I know. I'm so glad I got that off my face. Camera is way better than my Note 5. Oh, wait, hold on. You said I got a Phantom 3 standard and love it. The camera's way better than my Note 5. Yeah, the Phantom cameras are amazing. They're on par with DJI's stuff. Also tweeted a photo to you, what I took with it. I'll take a look at it here in a little bit. Hey, are you going to make another Christmas video with Xander unboxing like you did last year? Hey, Jay, do you think the AMD will release? Well, okay, first to answer your question about the Christmas video, probably not this year, because last year, I kind of want to keep it private this year. But I will do a video after the fact with Xander. We'll talk about all the stuff he got, stuff like that. Just probably not the actual opening of the presents. Hey Jay, what do you think that AMD will release, or when do you think AMD will release a more powerful GPU to complement the Ryzen? Also, love the fractal design ad with Coconut Monkey and the onesie. Funny.
I don't
Okay,
know. I don't know because they use Titan X's in their demo. So they put NVIDIA graphics cards on their Titan X, or they put NVIDIA Titan X Pascals in SLI on their demo to show that their CPU is powerful enough to not even bottleneck two Titan X's, which obviously like an 8350 would do. Um,
that's kind of sad in a way.
I
That
don't,
pretty
I don't know. I mean,
they
you gotta
have
understand,
arena.
we just saw a demo by a completely different division of AMD. Radeon Graphics is a different division of the AMD parent company. So you're not seeing the same team at work here.
Fair enough. Yeah. Oh, somebody in chat said the Aston DB11 versus the Hellcat Challenger, less than half a second difference on the track where they were on the Grand Tour. Well, that's going to be dependent. I'm guessing that track probably had some massive straightaways.
They did. They were at God, where were they? I can't remember where they were. Was it road? They were no, they were in Europe. That's also two different drivers. If you really want to see back to back, you need same tire, and you need the same. Okay, so you need the same driver, the same tire, and the same conditions to really measure the difference of the cars.
That's true. That's true. And the thing is, that DB11 is sweet though. Oh my god, I just watched a Doug's review that he did of it, and I was like, the price tag on it's stupid though. It's got a silly price tag, but oh my god, it's a gorgeous car.
Well, it's 6:31. I've got one more to read here. It's from ZTechNon. He says, "Hi Jay. I bought the X34 monitor from Acer recently and I really like it. I keep hearing about overclocking your monitors to get better gaming experience. How would you go about overclocking a monitor like the X34? Or should I even try?" You would end up doing it with the pixel clock inside of your graphics. Like if you have a EVGA or an NVIDIA graphics card, you can do it through like EVGA Precision OC or XOC, and you can adjust the pixel clock.
You can do it through the NVIDIA control panel too. You just create a custom resolution. And then when you create the custom resolution, it'll give you all the options for changing the pixel clock, vertical, horizontal, hertz, all that stuff you can tweak. But
absolutely, and I've done it before. In fact, I had to run a custom resolution to get in one of my other panels to get the actual advertised speed, which was kind of funny. I don't recommend it. It's just more tweaking that's necessary. Sometimes you can get some flickering on the screen. You could just get a gray screen, random crashes. It's just not worth it to me. If you have the X34, if you're okay with the 100 FPS, what you get, call it a day. It's smooth as can be.
And the other thing is, just like anything else, you're overdriving the components. So do you really want to risk damaging your screen? Even if it works in the term, it might start
overclocking for life. Just not your monitor.
Well, I did overclock my my 50-inch screens. I overclocked them to 65 hertz, and I did that. And I noticed a green cast.
Yeah,
like the screen was starting to get a green cast, so I backed them back off to 60 and it went away. But it did technically work. But yeah, your mileage may vary. There are some people though that have reported that the old shitty Vizio televisions, like the really old, like 40-inch trashed $400 or whatever Vizio screens that had the 120 hertz internal processing. I've seen a couple of them now in person overclocked to 120, and you could tell it was a true 120 hertz.
Yeah.
But they look like they look like garbage. They're not good looking screens. But so there are a couple rare screens that can do it. You can actually look up numerous web pages online that'll tell you which TVs can do it and which can't. But again, you may get a unit that does it. You may get a unit that doesn't. Its mileage may vary.
Darren says they had a system with the Vega GPU on one of the demos. Yeah, there was a little early kind of a sneak peek at Vega. That's obviously going to be in 2017 sometime. But Vega, again, is not... It's not going to be like a 490, which people are still waiting for a 490. I don't believe a 490 is coming. That's what AMD told me when I had a meeting with them earlier this year. Obviously, things change, and I didn't say AMD is not going to make another graphics card. I'm just saying that like the timing is not going to be, I believe, right now with the new CPU.
It's just going to be weird. AMD having a bunch of Ryzen systems out there with NVIDIA GPUs in them. It just seems weird.
No, they're not selling systems with GPUs in them. AMD doesn't sell systems to begin with. It's just they were showing it. But
I'm just saying, like, Intel doesn't make graphics cards, so it makes sense for them to actually have, like NVIDIA be their graphics. But it just seems weird because AMD does have a graphics department. You'd think that they would have somehow got them to develop in lockstep so that they would have a GPU that heavily utilizes Ryzen right out of the gate and like win. It just seems weird to me. It seems like just trying like as fast as they can to get shit out the door.
AMD knows right now there's nothing faster graphics wise than a GPU or than a Titan X when it comes to just raw performance, and putting those in SLI, that's a huge strain on the CPU in terms of keeping that frame rates from being bottlenecked. They just wanted to show the naysayers even that, like, look, this is not bottlenecking this.
So what are the odds, do you think, that when AMD drops Ryzen, that within a couple of months, actually shit, I'll even say a month, within a month, Intel announces a new generation?
There's already a new the 7th generation is already coming out in January. Everyone knows that.
No, but is there any technical data to show how it stacks up against like Ryzen right now, or is it just announced?
Okay, so 7th gen Intel is nothing new. And 7th gen Intel is already out in notebooks and stuff. It's just coming to desktop now, the 7700K or whatever they're calling it. It's Kaby Lake. And guys, it's not Kaby Lake. I always thought it was Kaby Lake. It's KB Lake. I know that because I was on the phone with Intel today. So anyway, yeah, it's nothing new. Everyone knows that. It's just there's no comparative data right now because neither one of the companies has their hands on the other person's chip.
I'm curious to see how this all plays out. But I promise you this, guys, if somehow Ryzen is the faster CPU all around for rendering, gaming,
look,
I will put one in a system.
Look, right now they're comparing Summit Ridge, which is the actual code name. Not just they're calling it Ryzen, but it's Summit Ridge. They're comparing Summit Ridge to the 6900K, which is an X99 CPU, 8-core, 16-thread CPU. So it's already going to be faster than Kaby Lake. Kaby Lake is a mainstream CPU. It's a 4-core, 8-thread, and lower. So yes, it's faster than Kaby Lake. It's going to be. So
and then dropping up, they'll announce another one like 1 month later.
Probably Computex, but anyway. All right, guys. With that, it's time to go. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the outro. Thanks for your donations today. If we missed you, blame YouTube because its system sucks.
This is to all.
And Hobbs isn't here. Hobbs had to take off, but thank you, Hobbs, once again for helping moderate. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll that outro.
All right, roll it. Tech Talk 136, AMD back on top. Samsung disabling my Note 7. They think they are, but they're probably not. I'll find a way. See ya.